We've been talking a lot about how China is urging its domestic firms, AI firms, not to use NVIDIA's H20 chips. This after the US agreed to revenue split for allowing AI semiconductors from NVIDIA, from AMD, to re-enter China. Now, Bloomberg opinion columnist Dave Lee wrote about this yesterday, about the decision by the White House, and also what it would cost the US in terms of an AI advantage. The story moves on continually. But what was so striking about your story was, look, if there's a 15% cut taken by the US government to allow AMD and NVIDIA to sell into China, the winners are NVIDIA, maybe less so now, but China. Why would China, clearly seeming to push ahead in terms of its own AI semiconductor offerings?
Well, one of the things the H20 chip would allow more quickly is scale, right? I mean, one of the things this chip is good at compared to what China's capabilities are now is it can do more inference, so it can run the applications that AI is built for. That's something that we don't think domestically they could catch up on for a couple of years. And so, look, this doesn't change China's aggression in trying to build its own chips as quickly as possible. But what it does do is kind of fill the interim there to allow them to start integrating AI into all aspects of Chinese life and therefore continue to make it a global player. Question is, and where the story has moved on since I wrote those words, is China now going to look to sort of almost stop that from happening in order to protect its domestic supply? How's it going to balance trying to make sure AI is used as much as it can in China, whilst making sure that its homegrown effort is still built upon as quickly as possible?
So, Dave, on your piece, and I appreciate a lot has changed actually in 24 hours. Just take mine and Caro's word for it. It's been a nightmare. Doing this for the last 24 hours. But your final point is that there are two winners here, NVIDIA and China, but you don't say the United States is a winner, if you get what I mean. Trump is supposed to be the deal maker, but your conclusion seems to be actually good deal for NVIDIA, but America in aggregate. That's what I want to get from you.
I mean, look, if the concern over exporting these chips existed this time last week, I don't think the 15% revenue cut changes that calculation. It doesn't seem like a good enough change to warrant what's essentially quite a dramatic change in national security policy. That would be my sort of overarching question here on why the US would go forward with this. I guess one of the dynamics that we're just starting to learn now is what this might mean for other parts of the trade deal between the US and China. We're hearing about rare earth metals being a concern. There's other types of chips that could be used as leverage as well. I mean, look, this is becoming a hugely complex piece of negotiation between the two countries. I worry that China has a position now of sort of saying to NVIDIA, well, look, you might have got your permission from your masters over there in the US, but we also hold many cards as well. And unless we get more of what we want in these trade deals, then we may not allow the sale of these chips in the country. And look, for NVIDIA, China is a very, very important part of its business. It's billions of dollars revenue, could be billions of dollars more. They had to write off billions of dollars when the restrictions on the H20 were going to put in place. So I think it really matters to NVIDIA to please both countries. And that, to me, just seems incredibly difficult at this point.